okay?
I know, I'm like, that's the only question he doesn't know the answer to. So remember, this was a surprise visit, and so he has done this as a monthly special. When you did it as a monthly special, it became one of the most popular ever. You know what that tells me though, Andrew? It's been kind of a sleeper hit, and what that tells me is people like me, you don't do many on-air presentations.
We because I'm only here 4 times a year, and we introduced this a couple of years ago, so this really has gotten very little airtime. In fact, last year as a monthly special, the monthly special is really an online monthly special because I'm only here 4 times a year. 8 of those months, it's just an online monthly special. I'll record a little video that will be available online. Sometimes we'll do a little 2-minute commercial that's on air, but I'm not here to really give it much airtime. So Phytoceramides, if you looked at it, it's gotten very little airtime, which is why so many of my friends were kind of going, how come I don't know about this? Why haven't I heard about this ingredient? So it's a product that today, unfortunately, we had adequate quantities for a monthly special. We thought we had adequate quantities for a Today special. But even though we've shortened the airtime significantly from what we anticipated, if we're going to talk about it this evening, it will probably be for just a few minutes this evening. So we just shortened this last airing. But again, it's a very simple and very straightforward product. It sort of is a similar conversation to what I've talked about in the past about our healthy hair, skin, and nails formula. That when we look about how our skin functions, when we think about what we do on the outside of our body for our skin, we're generally not doing what we really think we're doing. So with healthy hair, skin, and nails, for decades now, I've talked about the fact that our hair, skin, and nails are entirely grown on the inside of our body. That everything we do on the outside of our body, it's kind of like what would be kind of like a mortician. We're just dressing up something that is no longer alive, something that's deceased. We're doing the best we can with whatever we have. So if we want to make a difference in what we have to work with, the only opportunity we have is on the inside of our body. When we deal with moisturizers, the moisturizers that people will say makes their skin feel the most moist, those are moisturizers that are creating what's called an emollient effect. Or an occlusive effect, but the feeling we have of moisturization is a topical feeling. The real moisturization that affects the character and the appearance of our skin, that can only take place on a deeper level. And that's the real humectant role of a moisturizer. What we're talking about here is moisturization on that deeper level. That moisturization requires that we make an investment on the inside of our body. One of those investments is basically free, just being adequately hydrated. You can't expect to have moist skin and not be adequately hydrated. Moisture is constantly, every time we breathe, we lose moisture. We know it in the winter. When we breathe in the winter outside, we see the condensation in cold air. Every breath we take, moisture leaves our body. Every moment of the day, moisture is being wicked away from our skin. The only thing our skin does to cling to dear life is it has this very careful organization, with ceramides being the principal ingredient to keep the skin moist. And that's why we're talking about ceramides. Because when you really talk about moisturization, you're not talking just about beautiful skin. Yeah, it's what we attribute beautiful skin is moist, plump skin. But when we're talking about moisturization, we're kind of talking about our survival. That moisture is something we need to keep in our body because that's what our body requires to be healthy and function well. So the first thing we need to do to have moist skin is to make sure we adequately hydrate. I know if my mom is watching, my mom will be saying, oh, but that means I'm going to be going to the bathroom constantly. Well, that's a small price to pay for all the health benefits of being adequately hydrated, because believe me, the moistness, the moisture of your skin is just the first on the list of benefits we derive. It's important for our circulation. It's important for cardiovascular function. It's important for kidney and renal function, that we maintain bladder function, that we maintain adequate hydration. So if vanity is at the top of the list, then hopefully it encourages us, because all those other reasons are very important to our health. And then, of course, moist, healthy skin requires adequate levels of healthy fats. The omega-3s we don't get from our diet. That's why I've said our Today Special in April. In July, we brought it back as a monthly special at great pricing. It'll be monthly special. It'll be Today Special pricing again next April in 2019. But those essential fatty acids are, again, critical to the way skin retains its moisture. And the analogy I gave earlier is if you use an occlusive barrier, if you put sort of Vaseline or lanolin on your skin to hold in the moisture, that's like putting plastic on top of a cup with a little water in it. Eventually, all that moisture will evaporate up to the top of the plastic. Doesn't keep the skin moist. If you put a sponge in the bottom of that cup or glass, the moisture is going to tend to stay in the sponge. If you have a sponge that has special molecules in it that wants to cling to that water, then that sponge is going to keep the water and it's not going to evaporate up to the top of the glass. And basically when you put Vaseline or lanolin or the typical occlusive barriers that most moisturizers contain, and even moisturizers that are unbelievably expensive, a little jar costing hundreds of dollars, have simple occlusive barriers like lanolin or petrolatum or like Vaseline, which is just astounding to me, because those are really not moisturizing our skin. It's just trapping moisture on the outside and really just trapping our skin, because our skin really needs to have an opportunity to breathe, but at the same time we want to make sure we're delivering adequate hydration, and we want to make sure we're giving our skin the tools it needs to retain that hydration. Those are healthy fats and first and foremost ceramides. And of course, if you look at the organization of healthy skin, or you look at even better, the disorganization of unhealthy skin, you're seeing disruption in ceramide levels and ceramide organization. So again, ceramides are the key to this process.
Absolutely. And you know, here's the thing, we're over the 17,000 mark now, so this was a surprise visit to begin with. I know Andrew has the capacity to make, you know, small adjustments in terms of the availability. They are hoping for one brief, maybe, fingers crossed, airing at 9 o'clock for Andrew's last show. I guess my best recommendation to you, if you are already a fan, like I've been taking a fan, I know Kalina's gonna be a little newer to the party. We've made this a customer pick, because like Andrew said, it hasn't really had a real presence in on-air presentations. It already became a customer pick and was a top seller and #1 monthly special without much appearance on the air here at HSN. That's why most of us are doing that larger size. And I have to say, it's an expensive product to manufacture. So
well, basically because the raw material is so expensive.
Right.
But since its introduction, we've improved its price, as I've said before.
For sure.
With popularity always comes, at least from my approach, an opportunity for us to lower price. We've done that with healthy hair, skin, and nails. We've done it with marine collagen peptides. We've done it with CoQ10.
Yep,
CoQ10 is about 90% less expensive than when I introduced it. Healthy hair, skin, and nails, almost the same. So I'm hoping that with phytoceramides, over time, it's a great value today. It's a 1 capsule daily product. Some people take more than 1 capsule because they might have special issues or special problems.
Right.
But 1 capsule a day should be the perfect dose. And again, a lot of folks expect this to just be something they see on their face, where this product really is at its best is in the trouble spots that, as we've read in reviews, elbows, knees, heels, hands, feet. That's where you get to see a difference.
Sure. So just real quickly, choose your size of choice. 30, 60, 120, and 240. Obviously, today's special pricing, and which again, this has never been a today's special, so this is something to you know, be excited about anyway. But if you look at the pricing, now this is where our pricing will go. This is where your pricing is today. These are our savings. But if you take this every day, now, and Andrew will do some of the science, and I hope we get to some reviews. The science supports just 1 a day. I do take 2 a day. I'm kind of like Iris Apfel, more is more in my world, I guess. But I'm going for the 240. Do you know, it's almost like a buy one, get one free. I am doubling my capsule count, for what the 120 will cost you today. And this is such a feel-good proposition. I mean, not only because you're building better, softer, younger, more moisturized, hydrated skin from the inside out, which, let's be honest, topically, I don't care whose product you're using at what price, doesn't do what this is doing internally.
If you're using a moisturizer on the outside of the body, you're basically trying to address the fact that your body's going to be losing moisture. It just gets wicked away, it evaporates away. And usually you're using an occlusive barrier, using some fats or oils that's going to trap moisture in. And unfortunately, that can be comedogenic and things like that, could be irritating.
Sure.
The way this works is by using a molecule that was in the original design of our body responsible for moisture retention. I could read some of the science. I said I was going to read some reviews because we hadn't done that. I just grabbed some reviews.
Perfect.
The reviews are incredibly compelling on this product, and it's something that it's one of those products that you'll notice a difference quickly. 30 days is more than ample time to see a difference. What a lot of people do, take 2 capsules for the first 30 days, and then you just go to 1 capsule a day. And it's an incredibly affordable product, especially when you look at what we invest otherwise.
For sure.
This is a long review. Andrew is the man. Andrew's the man again and again. I use a lot of Andrew's products, and hands down, this is a winner. The very best one. I'm a 56-year-old AA woman, but no one believes it because I have really beautiful skin. Thank you, Mama and Grandmother, but after using your product, at least 3 people, including my boyfriend, asked, what have you done? Did you try a new makeup, which I rarely use, or have something done? I trust Andrew because his product always delivers just as he says, but I was not expecting this amazing miracle pill to work so fast. I bought the 120 capsules, and now I'm going back for the largest. Please never stop, Andrew, because you are an awesome gift to us. That's from Ginny in Texas. And again, we all think this is bizarre and surprising. For me, it would be bizarre and surprising if an external moisturizer could overcome the barrier properties of our skin to moisturize.
Yeah.
The only way I would figure to moisturize our skin is we have to deliver it internally.
Sure.
Glowing in 3 days. Within 3 days, my skin had a glow. For the first time in years since entering into menopause, my skin felt moisturized and dewy in the morning. I feel the moisturizers I use are working better and not just getting washed off. Not just the skin on my face either. The skin on my entire body feels more moisturized. I can see the look of crepiness on my
which
on
is
my,
creepy.
Creepy, yes. On my legs and arms lessening. I'm going back to order the big bottle. Andrew Lessman, you are a steely-eyed missile.
Oh,
man.
I love that. That's actually one of my favorite movies.
That from Chrissy. That's
I know.
Yes.
Martian.
So with what is
with
it?
Matt Damon.
Yes. What is it? What was it? Blue Steel.
Oh, The Martian. Or wait.
No. No.
Well, see, now Steve's gonna scold us.
I'll remember in a second. I'm not sure.
He's like, you two have to, one of you has to focus.
Why it's escaping with Ben Stiller.
Oh,
Zoolander.
Zoolander,
Of
yes.
course, yes,
Okay.
Blue Steel.
All right,
yes.
sorry.
Lincoln does Blue Steel.
Anyway.
My dog. Works for me. It's only been a couple of weeks of taking this, and I already find my feet to be less dry, which was a very big problem. We have a bunch of reviews on feet, heels,
yes, my hands,
elbows. That's moisturizing from the inside out is the smartest thing versus creams and potions. Like all supplements, they work from the inside out. My gratitude, Andrew, and my facial skin is showing youth again, which my friends have commented on. I look better and feel better, glowing. A dear friend recommended these supplements. I was taken aback by the cost. Frankly, I was too. It's an expensive raw material.
Sure.
Again, we've succeeded in lowering the price a couple of times, and this is our best pricing ever.
Yes.
But it's still not inexpensive.
Yeah.
I thought about the cost of creams, so I bought some to see what would happen. I'm 46, ex-suntan lady, drank alcohol and smoked. I do exercise, eat well, and meditate. My skin improved within the first week.
Wow, nice.
I'm very happy that these supplements are available. I noticed the difference in my skin almost immediately. I am thankful that the aging process can be wonderful, worth the money.
Nice.
No dry skin. I never write reviews. I noticed that my dry skin and dry eyes have improved significantly since I started taking this product. Interesting enough, I read last night 3 reviews on dry mouth, 2 reviews on dry nose, 2 reviews on dry eyes.
Yeah.
The dry skin in my heels has improved too. I can only attribute the improvement in my skin to this product. I highly recommend. I'm 66 years old, which I understand it in terms of eyes, nose, skin, but the mouth was fascinating. But I'm going to do some research between the shows.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if these sphingolipids are also present in saliva, in the tissues of the mouth.
I bet.
Shocked. I'm a very discriminating consumer and I read reviews carefully. I waffled on buying this product primarily due to the cost, but was also struggling with dry skin and have been for years. It's an aging thing. I'm 64. Well, I purchased this product and quite literally, I am shocked at the results. I noticed changes starting after 3 days of use,
another 3 days.
which was also shocking.
Yeah.
My skin, including my lips, are noticeably smoother and softer. That's where I notice it. So much
Yeah.
outdoor activity, I frequently, I used to always put,
Sure.
I don't even put lip stuff on anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, holding moisture better. The difference really is quite amazing. The best thing I could tell you is that I just ordered a second bottle of 240 capsules.
Nice.
I don't want to be without this product. It is, for me, quite amazing.
You know, and doesn't that just at least compel you to try this with that 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee? And obviously everybody's different, but it's funny. Part of the reason I wore a strapless top is I'm heading into my 53rd year, and one of those reviews talked about crepiness. And I have to say, and certainly I try to eat right. I do stay out of the sun, which is certainly significant, but I don't have that chicken skin. I don't have that crinkly, you know, area. And by the way, yes, I put things on my face for a lot of different reasons, but I don't use body lotion. I just don't need to, because from my hands in particular, because I use a lot of hand sanitizer. I'm very weird. You know, we handle a lot of different products in the makeup room and here at HSN. So that used to be an area where my cuticles, my knuckles, my heels, my elbows, my knees, where I would notice a lot of dryness. Now, everybody's different, but even when I was doing other things, applying things topically, I was not personally getting the kind of results that I'm getting with this.
Right.
I mean, and so to me, it only makes common sense that scientifically you're building, you know, more moisturized skin from inside out.
There's the way our skin works. The outer layers of our skin are essentially dead layers of skin. That's why when we get exfoliated, there's no anesthesiologist on hand. But as we get into the inner layers of our skin, as we get into the epidermis and the stratum corneum, that's the living stuff that determines moisturization. If we're moisturizing those outer dead layers, that might feel nice topically. It might get shiny or things like that, but it's not real moisturization.
Right.
The real moisturization that has us with that has that youthful, plump property to it, that's moisturization that's taking place at the stratum corneum level in the epidermis. And the key to moisturizing in the stratum corneum, the key to the stratum corneum retaining its inherent moisture, because remember, our body is delivering moisture to those tissues. That moisture is constantly being robbed by the external environment. The molecules responsible for the retention of moisture, and they're very carefully organized and arranged layers, that molecule, it's ceramides, followed by essential fatty acids, followed by cholesterol. So ceramides are the key, and you could track the reduction in ceramide levels with advancing age. You can track the reduction in ceramide levels with increased issues with our skin. And if you look at skin with issues, you invariably find reduced levels of ceramides or disorganized layers of ceramides. So ceramides are that key molecule. When we're playing with moisturizers on the outside of our body, yes, there are good moisturizers. It's maybe one of those things. The science is so interesting on moisturizers that you really don't need to spend a ton of money to create a great moisturizer. And maybe one of these days I really need to do it, because, and it would be, it's taken us, 20 plus years ago, we did a sunscreen. And we'll probably bring a sunscreen back next year.
Yeah.
A zinc oxide-based sunscreen, which is the only sunscreen to have. But even I've been playing with sunscreens for 20 years. I decided a few years ago I want to do it again.
Yeah.
It's going to take me 5 years to do a sunscreen.
Ooh, wow.
Just because the way we do things, we so carefully track the science. But when it comes to moisturizers, a moisturizer, you could do a really great moisturizer, and it should be really inexpensive. It's not really complicated, but I think there's all sorts of crazy ingredients and patented this and trademarked that. They get a little carried away. And far be it from me to question the quality or value of other people's products, but suffice to say, just looking at the science of moisturization, it takes place on the inside of our body. You have to adequately hydrate, no escaping it. If you want moisture in those tissues, your body delivers it from the inside, not from the outside. And then you need to make sure those tissues have the key constituent molecules to retain that moisture. essential fatty acids, and top of the list, the very top of the list, ceramides. We don't need to introduce more cholesterol. That's already there. In fact, we might be reducing cholesterol. Who knows? It might have implications for skin health, although I haven't read that in the science. I don't think anybody's really looking at that. So ceramides are at the very top of the list. And when it comes to a moisturizer, I think when it comes to a moisturizer, a very simple, straightforward formula. If you want to enhance the moisture content, if you want to use a humectant effect on the stratum corneum, then you're usually looking at natural fatty acids and hopefully water in the formula as well that's being transported by some emulsification system. I suspect there are products out there, and maybe I'll do a little research and try to recommend the best product that I know of out there in terms of moisturization, and I suspect it will be very, very affordable. But the key to moisturization takes place on the inside of our body. That's where skin is moisturized. The skin is designed first and foremost to be a barrier. The most important attribute of the skin is its barrier function. In fact, ceramides are part of that barrier function. So the very molecule you might try to put on the outside of your body is kept out by that molecule on the inside of your body. So because that's what ceramides do, it keeps water in by enhancing that barrier function. So again, you could open these capsules and you could put it on your hands or any part of your body. It will feel great. But it feels great because of its wonderful emollient effect, like a typical moisturizer, not because it's actually exerting a moisturizing effect down into the skin where you need that moisturizing effect to take place.
Okay, do you know you're almost at 19,000? I know, and so I know...
Well, that's more product than we brought with us originally.
I know.
So we're already into all the excess capsules.
Okay.
I suspect that we'll have a little bit left because we abbreviated all our airings.
Right.
We'll have a little bit left to talk about at 9 p.m.
Okay.
But probably for 10 or 15 minutes,
Yeah.
if that.
If
And I
that.
could be wrong. It could be gone.